Hey YouTube, so it's Draw Mohammed Day, yay! You wanna see my picture? You're gonna love it. Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, listen, I believe in free speech, I do. But I also believe in doing unto others as I would like them to do unto me. I'm a secular humanist. And I just can't get down with doing something that you know is going to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not all that worried about hurting the feelings of someone waving a sign saying, behead those who insult Islam. I don't give a shit about that person's feelings, and I can't see why anybody would. But nobody waving such a sign is going to care what I say. They are not going to listen to anything I say. I'm not going to be able to convince them. I mean, if you're that far gone, that you're willing to behead people who don't believe the same thing as you do, nothing I say is going to convince you that, you know, this isn't a particularly enlightened way to approach the world and to approach people who have different beliefs. If you use insults or humiliation or mockery to knock down irrational beliefs, I think all you're going to do is breed resolve. You're going to make the person who holds those beliefs adhere to them all the more. And I can give you a perfect example that I know will resonate with just about anybody out there. Has the fact that there are people waving signs saying, behead those who insult Islam, made you decide that Islam is worthy of respect? Has the fact that people are burning down embassies and killing cartoonists made you decide you're not going to draw Mohammed? Of course not. All it did was build your resolve, you know? Humans don't respond to those kinds of arguments. You know, these are threats. These are arguments based on fear. And you can either live in fear or you can live free. You know, I agree with all that. But who's going to solve that problem? Who is going to modernize Islam? Who is going to moderate Islam? Who's going to make it compatible with the rest of the world such that people can have their Islamic beliefs and still get through the day? That's going to be accomplished via the moderate Muslims. Those are the people who are going to get that accomplished, not you or me. Okay? Moderate Muslims can reform Islam from within. You know, a young person, you know, grows up in America, he becomes a Muslim, then maybe he becomes an imam, then maybe, you know, 20 or 30 years later he's a respected elder. You know, that's how we're going to do this. That's how this is going to get done. And we say, oh, Islam's a bunch of shit, and Muhammad was a pedophile, and we draw pictures of Muhammad. We are offending those people. We are offending moderate Muslims. We are offending our best weapon against extremist Islam. Those people represent the modern face of Islam, this emerging modern face, emerging onto the world stage. And those are the people we're insulting. We are simply making their job harder. You know, when you have, you know, a Muslim who lives in the United States, goes back home to visit his relatives, and they tell him, you know, why do the Americans hate us? Why do they do this? Why do they do that? And they're like, oh, no, 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 you know, it's not like that. You know, and then their relative goes on YouTube and sees people drawing pictures of Muhammad doing all sorts of offensive things. What's been accomplished? We're just driving a wedge, spreading a chasm, and I don't think it's the proper way to go about it. And on the matter of moderate Muslims, Coughlin666 just made a video not too long ago. It was an excellent video. I'm going to put it in the underbar. where he pointed out that you hear a lot of people saying, oh yeah, the moderate Muslims are being silent, they're not saying anything about this. He pointed out that if you spend 5 seconds on Google, you can find thousands of examples of moderate Muslims decrying, denouncing, totally disowning the idea of terrorism. There are moderate Muslims speaking out. Quite a few. You know why you're not hearing about them? They don't make the news. Okay, that's not exciting. It's not exciting news to hear that a bunch of people held a march to protest terrorism. It's more exciting to hear that someone blew up a car bomb. Okay? Especially if you live in the United States. U.S. news isn't news. I don't even know why people watch it. I don't watch news anymore. I get my news online. And even then, I have to have a serious bullshit filter in effect. Sensationalism isn't news. Okay? And moderate Muslims are not sensational. So, you have to put a little effort into backing up what you believe. If you believe that moderate Muslims aren't speaking out, you should probably have a reason for believing that. You should make an effort. That's just, as atheists, as free thinkers, that's what we encourage. Don't just adopt beliefs. Let's not be tribalistic about this. Let's not turn this into us versus them. That's the first step to dehumanizing a group of people, is to treat them with a huge generalizing swath. Say they're all alike. Make them the other. Yeah, there are serious problems with Islam, and they need to get solved. But we're not going to do it with bombs, and we're not going to do it with insults. Every war that has ever ended up with peaceful coexistence between people has done mostly through assimilation. People get exposed to each other's cultures, they assimilate, and they learn to get along. And that's what we need to do here. Obviously there need to be some ground rules. There are some things that are just not acceptable in the modern world. And I think moderate Muslims know that, and I think that I think that there is hope, and I'd like to encourage that. I'd like to do my part to encourage that. I recognize our rights of free speech. I have a right to draw Muhammad if I want to, but I don't want to. And it's not because I'm afraid someone's going to sneak up behind me and stick a knife in me. Thunderfoot, in a recent video, said that with great power comes great responsibility, and at least on that I can agree with him. But free speech is a power. It's a great power that we enjoy. Let's be responsible with it. I'm an atheist, and I'm sure that a number of other people out there on YouTube are atheists. If you were at a funeral and you saw a bereaved mother weeping over a dead child, and she was consoling herself with the belief that she would see the child in the afterlife, I gotta believe 99.999% of you would keep your mouth shut about your beliefs about the afterlife. Yeah, it probably isn't real, and she's probably deluding herself, but you know what? She needs it to get through. And we respect that. Not the belief, but we respect her needs. We respect her feelings. We see her as a human being. We know how to be responsible with our speech. And I'll close out by saying that respecting someone's feelings is not the same as respecting their beliefs. Most atheists that I know of would like to be left alone. We'd like to not have religion intruding on our lives. The only time that I'm going to get up in arms about religious belief is when I find someone trying to legislate it on me, or legislate it on people around me, people who don't share that religious belief. That's just crazy. But otherwise, we just want to be left alone. I don't want to convert anybody. Listen, if your religion makes you happy, and it doesn't impact me in any harmful way, and it doesn't impact other people in any harmful way, yeah, whatever. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not a militant, you know. It's not that I respect the beliefs. It's that I respect the person who has them. And I'm not talking about, I understand respect has to be earned. But there is a modicum of respect, a basic level of human respect. If you bumped into some guy that you'd never met before, sure, he has to earn your respect. That doesn't mean you'd walk up to him and say, "You're an ugly bastard." There's a basic level of human respect. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's it. Let me know.